this is always an exciting call. We try and do this at least once a month because, the miracles that we see on a daily basis, like I mentioned just now, could be that one testimony that a person needs to see, which can completely change the trajectory of their life. And it is so important that we get that out to people. And every time when we do a testimony Thursday, by the next day, the testimonies are all cut up, the pictures are done, and it's already on the testimony link tree. So we're very quick when it comes to that. So we've got a couple of people. Lucinda put some messages out on the group, and we've got a few people that will be putting their hands up and are going to be doing testimonies. And then what I'll do is I'll make the screen bigger so that you guys can see the person. So what I'm going to do is, right, so we're going to start off with Jerome. Jerome, who lives in France. It was so awesome. We had a call earlier today. I'm just going to go spotlight here and we go to Jerome quickly. Give me a second. View gallery, and where's Jerome? There's Jerome there. Let me add spotlight there. And then what I'll do is I'll ask Jerome to unmute. Myself and Jackie and Jerome, we had a call earlier on today, and Jerome I met online. We were on a Zoom call probably 3.5, 4 years ago, and we haven't spoken since. And when I was talking to Jackie, Jackie said, "Oh my goodness, Jerome remembers you from years back. He's part of LifeWave, and we need to hook up and meet." So we found the time. We did it today, and we were chatting, and Jerome shared his testimony, and I nearly fell off my chair. And we said, "Jerome, can you please come onto the call this evening and share your amazing testimony with everybody?" Jerome, my friend, so nice to have you on the call. Over to you.
Welcome, Jerome.
Well, thank you for having me. Hi, Chris. Nice to meet you, Lucinda. Looking forward to meeting you guys in person eventually. Right. Well, my name is Jerome. I'm French, but I spent 22 years of my life in England. Hence, maybe able to speak English. I'm 52 years old. 2 years ago, I went to the dentist for a routine visit and got a bacteria. The bacteria went straight into my heart, and for 6 months I deteriorated. They didn't know what it was, lung infection, and the dentist was in March, and on the 23rd of September 2024, it was my due cardiologist visit, and I arrived there and I said, you're my Obi-Wan Kenobi, I'm dying, but nobody knows what it is. Basically, I had a 10 hours after 2 weeks of 12 grams of antibiotics per day in IV. Eventually, 2 weeks after, I was operated on, 10 hours open heart surgery to repair the valves, etc., etc. So a bit of plumbing in there. And for the last 15 months, it's been really hard to recover full health. And I've been involved in network marketing full time since 2011, but since 2018, it was with crypto and trading and stuff, and every single thing was falling apart. And I was really, really tired, physically, emotionally, everything. But I love this industry and I love what I'm doing. So, and in December, I went to work. It lasted 3 weeks. They told me that they'd never seen such customer care, but I had a problem in attitude because I requested to drink during work and have a wee break. So that was the proof that I didn't want to be employed anymore. And I prayed over Christmas. It's always a good time to pray and remember why Christmas is there for. And I said, 15 years of experience. I love what I'm doing. I'm not dying, but my health is such poor condition. I could not lift my leg. I had pain in my groin. I had white blank like pages. I would speak to my partner, and I would stop and said, "Finish your sentence." I have no idea what I was talking about. At 52, it's very scary, and the fact that I could not put my socks on anymore in the morning, and I couldn't lay down in bed without, sound of pain, and I could not be on my side. I could only sleep on my back, and so I was like praying. I need something. I need my health, and if the health could get better and eventually the finance could follow, that would be amazing. And I've redone my LinkedIn. I've got 6,000 contacts on LinkedIn, and I sent a SOS saying, looking for anything, opportunity. Do you guys have anything? And out of 6,000 people, Jackie the next day said, "I've got something for you." So I thought it was a PA or HR, employed. But it was LifeWave, and I said, "Oh, I know that brand. George contacted me 3 years ago, and he was starting, and he said, 'Join me. We'll build that together.'" And I said, "No," because it would have been so easy. And I said, "Do you know George?" So yes. Anyway, long story short, took the food budget to buy the core pack. Burn the bridges, and got patched last Thursday, and I put it on after the shower at 9 a.m. and a networker doesn't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and by 11 so I was already busy, contacting people, and I go upstairs. And I arrive on the landing, and I just went up the stairs, no pain. So I take 2 steps further on the landing instead of in case I fall back, and I start lifting my leg one after the other. That's logical, and I was like, no pain. So I come back downstairs and say, "Hey, Celine, I can lift my legs." And so, "You could not before?" "Well, I didn't tell you, but no, I've been struggling for the past 6 months." I said, "That's amazing. 2 hours." And a week has passed, because today's Thursday, so it's been a week. I've got chronic impatience, so I was told to put A on for a week, but on the 3rd day I put X39 and X49. On Saturday we went for a walk, and I was stopping every 100 meters because I was out of breath. And on Tuesday, third day of X39 and X49, I was talking to a friend, a naturopath friend in England, about it, and we walked for an hour. And we came back home, and I put the phone down, and my partner said, "Did you realize something?" And I said, "Yeah, I didn't stop. I did not stop." And I was talking. And a week on, it's been a long day. A week on, I can actually go to bed, and I've got no pain. I can turn on my side to fall asleep after just 1 week. And I contacted 15 people to go on a call last Wednesday, and 12 started. And I think today I just hit 2-star manager. And we had an amazing call with a very good friend. She's here actually, and I look forward to spread the word and get better. And thank God that my prayer answered with a technology that is going to get me in incredible shape, and wealth will be the cherry on the cake. So yeah, thank you for allowing me to share that with you. Sorry about the emotion, but yeah, it's been quite scary.
Thank you for that.
And it's yeah, lots of hope. Thank you.
Lovely to hear your story, and I know the X49 is, I can openly say it, probably one of my favorite patches, so I know what that brings to the body and the healing. So thank you for sharing that. That's amazing.
Thank you, Jerome. Thank you. And I've got a funny feeling we're going to be seeing a lot more of Jerome on the screens, and looking forward to seeing you in France soon. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, there we go. Let's see. Oh, yikes, what did I do? Let me smooth this out of the way. There we go. All right, then let's see. Who have we got for? It doesn't change the view. There we are. We still spotlighted. I just want to unspotlight Jerome. There we go. Remove spotlight. Guys, how amazing is that? As Jerome was saying, you know, people are praying, guys. People are praying for help with their health and help with their money life. And we have the answer. And the amount of people that we've spoken to that also come back and say, this is exactly what I was praying for. And people aren't just going to find out about it. We just need to share the information with people. So thank you for that reminder. Right, then who do we have next? We have Martine. Where is Martine? Let's just have a look quickly. But find Martine. Martine, if you can put your video on. I believe that you've got
you can spot her, maybe just
3 testimonies to share with us, Martine.
There's lots of people on the call now.
Martine. Liesel, if you can maybe just speak to Martine and just ask her to hop on and just put. Oh, there we go. There's Martine. Here we go. There's Martine.
Okay, cool.
And right. Let me add spotlight. There we go. There's Martine. Right, there we go. Also put view here, and let me ask Martine to 1 second to unmute. Let me ask Martine to unmute. Here we go. Yeah. Gallery. Here's Martine. Martine, we don't see your video anymore. There we go. There we go.
Cool.
We ask you to unmute. Press the little button there. Yeah. There we go.
Hi,
okay. There we go. I needed you to unmute me. Okay. Good evening. Hi, everybody. I've got quite a story. I'm going to try to put everything and not go on and on and on and on. So my story with LifeWave Patches started in 2024. Frans Visser was actually our big boss, and he used to come down to Durban, and if anybody says anything is wrong with them, he would say, oh, what about the patches and the patches? So he was known like as the patch person. So every time we were like, oh, Frans is coming to talk about patches again. And what was wrong with my body? I was very tired. I would get home, I would just fall asleep. I just didn't have the energy to do anything anymore. So I said to Frans eventually, I said, you know what, just, sorry, I've got my cat coming here. I said to him that, okay, give me Liesel's phone number. Let me speak to her, let me get the patches. I got nothing to lose. So I started the patches, I think, in August 2024. In October 2024, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had 7 tumors in my one breast, and I was at stage 3. Right through, I was still patching. It took about 3 months after I started patching. Then I had a mastectomy in my breast. I was supposed to have chemo and radiation after my mastectomy. So after they do a mastectomy, they dissect your breast and they just make sure that there's nothing that they haven't missed. They check to make sure they haven't missed anything. And when we went to the oncologist for our follow-up meeting to find out when my radiation is going to start, when my chemo is going to start, she looked at me and she said to me, I have to tell you something. So I was like, okay, fine. So she says, we've actually restaged you to stage 1. So I was like, okay. I was like, and I had plenty of tests and biopsies and all sorts of stuff before I had my breast removed. So no chemo, no radiation, didn't have to do it anymore because I went back to stage 1. And I only have to do hormone treatment. So the hormone treatment absolutely killed me. I was in so much pain. It felt like I had arthritis in my hands, my feet. Some days I couldn't even walk. I just continued patching and patching and patching. And I feel fantastic. I even saw today that some of my wrinkles are busy disappearing. So that's my breast cancer story. So I've been smoking for the last 30 years. So when I found out I had breast cancer, I was like, oh, I hope it's not on my lungs. And it's the first thing my mother said, I bet you it's because you smoke. So I had PET scans and I had CT scans and I had MRI scans. And the doctor, no, because I have to declare that I'm smoking. I smoke 20 cigarettes a day for over 30 years. And when they did the scans, my lungs are clear. My lungs look like I have never smoked in my life. So I was very happy about that. And I think maybe only like after maybe 6 months of using the patches, I thought to myself, I started investigating and I was listening to testimonials and I was like, you know what, I think these patches actually really, really work. And so I'm very grateful for France and Liesel. Then one other thing, I had endometriosis. I've had endometriosis, I've got cysts, fibroids. Since I was a teenager, I had terrible, terrible stomach aches. And it's horrific when you're in pain the whole time. And that's the first thing I noticed when I started the patches. I didn't have stomach ache anymore. And it was absolutely fantastic. I had a checkup with, so every couple of years I have to go for operation. I recently had a checkup from the gynae. Don't need any operations. Everything looks perfect. Don't have to worry. So the endometriosis never goes away, but it's under control. It's not giving me any pain. So that's on my side. Then when I started the patches, my mom is 75, and she was like, is it nicotine patches that you're putting on you? So I said, no. And I explained to her, and she goes like, oh, please. And she said, I don't even want to hear about it. And she's got arthritis and she's old. And during COVID, she had vertigo. She was bedridden for I think about a year. So her body's really taken a beating over the years. And she was really, really bad. So I said to her, now, Mom, why don't you just try the patches? And she was like, okay, fine, stick it on. So I was sticking it on. The next moment, she's going to water aerobics. She is out and about, and it's like she got a whole new lease on life. So that's my mom's story. Then over Christmas, I want to be very careful, I said. So over Christmas, I had all my family here at my house, and we have got a family member that's got a little child that's autistic. She's about 10 years old. She was non-verbal until she was like about 8. So she only last 2 years she started saying a few words, whatever else. And she gets very aggressive because I think she's frustrated because she can't tell you what's wrong, or she can't communicate. So my little one is very scared of her because she gets frustrated with him, and then she will grab his hair, or she will grab him around his neck, or she'll push him into the pool and hurt him. I don't think she means it, but she doesn't understand. So on Christmas Day, I had a patch, but I put the X39 on my shoulder because I was sweaty and I was busy with food, so I put it on my shoulder. So she came and she said to me, plaster, Aina. So I said to her, yeah, I've got an Aina, because I can't explain to her. I said, yeah, I've got an Aina. She said, can I also? She's like, me too. So I put a little X39 on her back, and she was the most pleasant little child. I was so happy. She was calm. She didn't get frustrated. She didn't get aggressive. She doesn't speak. She doesn't communicate with strangers. And my stepchildren were here, and she's never met the stepchildren. She was sitting with the stepchildren. She was asking, who are you? How old are you? And it's very unlike her. So it is absolutely amazing and she didn't have a medication that day. So it would have been a wild day. And she was so happy. She ate her food. There was no drama. She was just part of the family. And yeah, that's me.
Oh my word. Wow. 3 testimonies. Thank you for that. Thank you so much for that, Martine. And yes, we spoke, I think you messaged me last week. You were looking for my story. And
yes.
And I asked, how did you come about LifeWave? When did you join? And, you were a customer first for a year before you decided to become a brand partner. So welcome to the side of LifeWave. And it's all about one thing, getting the results yourself. But it's so rewarding when we start sharing it with other people and people start coming back to us with their amazing testimonies. And that's what it's all about, is our stories that we share with other people can potentially, I'll say it the way it is, can potentially save a person's life.
Yeah.
Can potentially save a person's life. So, and that's the important job that we have in our hands right now. We've actually got a social responsibility that once we are exposed to this amazing technology, it's our social responsibility to share it with other people and make a difference. Make a difference on this planet. So, Martine, thank you for that beautiful testimony.
I'm very, very grateful to LifeWave. I'm very grateful to France for not giving up on us, and I'm very grateful for Liesl for introducing me. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Martine. Thank you. And
just as a recap, all of these testimonies will be clipped into short testimonies individually and be put onto the link tree. So not to worry.
Perfect.
They'll all go out.
Right, then there's 2 more testimonies. We've got 3 more where we've got Dolly and Glenda and Kent. But Dolly, if you're on the call, that's under Sandy. If you can put your hand up, if you push a little button and put your hand up, then I can find you quickly. Oh, is that you, Anne?
Then. And Susan's. Okay, cool.
Okay, right. There we go.
Thank you.
That worked, putting the hand up, actually. Right, let me do this and then go to add spotlight and quickly do this and ask Anne to Dolly to unmute. So it says Anne, but your name's Dolly. Dolly, Anne?
Yes. Am I now unmuted?
Yes, you're unmuted.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
Wonderful. Well, my birth name is Anne Susan, but my grands just called me Dolly, and I stayed with that name until now.
Okay, beautiful.
Nice to meet you, Dolly.
And not Anne. Only my school friends, they call me Anne. That's the only ones that call me Anne. Yeah.
Oh, welcome, Dolly. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, and hi to everybody there. So let me start with my testimony. I joined in, I think it was April 24, for other reasons, for pains and aches and pins and needles in my arms. And it was real bad. I mean, the pins and needles, I couldn't even drive my car, so bad it was. And I thought to myself, well, let me try the patches and let's see what's going to happen. I was so surprised. The pins and needles is gone, like gone. And then after now, it's nearly 2 years, I start to see, well, I'm on warfarin. So my blood results is always normal, between 2 and 3. That's the way the cardiologist wants it. But before I started on X39, I was on a dosage like 1 5 milligram tablet per day. Yes, per day. So after a while, I realized I'm going down to 4 tablets a day. That's great. Like the rest of the week, it's half a tablet, but then it's 4 tablets and then the rest half. And then the next time I go for blood tests, it came down to 3 tablets a week, the rest half a tablets. And now I'm nearly it's a couple of months, I think it's nearly a year, that I'm only taking 1 5 milligram tablet per week. The rest is half a tablet. And I didn't realize, and I said to Sandy today, I said, I'm sure it's the patches, because I'm not changing my lifestyle with anything else, with no other medication. I'm eating the same stuff I always eat. Well, of course, you have to have a healthy lifestyle, which I don't always do. You get temptations. Anyhow, so yes, I'm so grateful, because I keep on asking the cardiologist if he can't take me off warfarin, because there's a lot of English is not my first language, so I'm going to throw an Afrikaans word in here.
That's perfectly fine.
So he said to me, listen, I don't want a call from the neurologist to say, I've got Mrs. Smith here and she had a stroke. So you must decide if you want to stay on warfarin or if you want to get a stroke. So I stay on warfarin. But now I'm nearly on a half a tablet every day. And soon, I'm so sure my blood is going to become so nice that the doctor says, leave out the warfarin. And I really, my life has changed. My life has changed with X39 and all the others. I had a bad fall last year in January. I had a big lump on my head. I was blue for a couple of days, wearing all the patches I could. And I didn't even go yellow or purple or green or nothing. Within a week, I was nearly no shows of any fall. The same thing happened in July last year. I had a very bad fall. I had a hematoma on my bum, a big one, like a very big one. And the previous time I had a hematoma, they had to cut it out. This time I was patching. My bum looked like thunder. If I show you the pictures, it looks like thunder with the moon up there in the sky. And I never had to go for operations on that hematoma. And that was the patches. That was X39. I'm so sure about that. So yeah, that's short and sweet, my testimony tonight. So I would really, anybody that's on warfarin, just keep on patching and keep on doing your healthy lifestyle. And
Wow, that is amazing. I believe you also had a story on gout, that your gout disappeared.
yes.
Sandy just told me. Yes.
Oh, yes, gout. And that's also sometimes eating wrong. And Christmas Day, I had some lamb. So I was sitting with gout like still a week ago on both feet. But I patched with everything I could, from glutathione and X39 and Aeon and LifeWave. Oh, because it's a pain you can't describe to people, eh? Gout. No, really, no, for gout, there's nothing better than X39. Really. I can tell you that.
And Sandy just said that it was the ice wave that helped.
Yes, Tony.
Help me for the pain. Hello, Sandy.
Hi. I said to Chris, ask about the gout. Do you remember, I think a year or 18 months ago?
Yeah.
Qwerty gave you ice wave, and in 24 hours, what a change.
It was,
beautiful.
Sandy, that convinced me to do the patching. Because Qwerty was sitting here, she was patching me. She got the patches from you. It was LifeWave. And she brought me an X39 from her side. And we were chatting for, I think, maybe 2 hours. I couldn't walk when she got in here. I was sitting with my feet in the air with ice packs, and I was dragging myself. And after an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, I could walk her out to the driveway. And that night, my feet were already, the swelling was so much down. I can, no, that patching is very good for gout. Very, very good.
Wow.
Now also,
Wow.
I had to, both my feet was full of gout after this Christmas season. Yeah. But they're all down now. I've been patching and it's all down now. Done.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. That was
Thanks for
This has
sharing that.
changed my life.
Powerful.
Oh, pleasure. It
If you
really
were to
changed
label
my
that
life.
one, Wilfred.
I just want to still say also, people ask me, where do you get the energy from? Because my dad used to say, it's difficult to get her going, but once she's going, you can't stop her. So there's no end from the morning until the night, and people ask me, how on earth can you manage all those things in one day? And then I tell them, well, this X39 gives me wings. I can fly.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Love that. X39 gives you wings.
Yeah.
Thank you, Donnie. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
It's only my pleasure. All the best. Keep well.
Okay, you too. Okay, bye. Bye. There we go. Wow. That is absolutely phenomenal. I'm gonna share quite a funny story with you guys. It was about April last year. More of an acquaintance reached out to me. So it was a person I knew, friend of a friend. And he reached out and said, I believe you're doing these patches. I was in a motor car accident in October of 2024. And I met him in April. So it was 6 months later. And he was walking with a walking stick. He had operations. He had sciatica, neuropathy, migraines, you name it. His body was like totally conking out. And so we met up for coffee. And he purchased a sleeve of LifeWave and a sleeve of X39, and told him what to do. And so two and a half weeks later, I followed up, and I won't say his name. I said, "How is your pain doing?" He said to me, no, he hadn't changed anything at all, right? He just got the patches. Because I said, what did you do? And he said, no, nothing is working. Nothing is working. So he got the patches. 2.5 weeks later, I speak to him and he says, no, my pain is completely gone. No more sciatica, no more neuropathy. But he said to me, he doesn't think it's the patches though. I said to him, what do you mean it's not the patches? He said, no. About 2 weeks ago, a whole lot of people at the church put me onto a prayer group, and he thinks that it's a prayer group, so it's definitely not the patches. So I thought, I actually didn't know how to answer that. It was kind of like maybe because of the prayer group, that's how the patches got to you. So you've got to look at it from a divine intervention point of view, where it didn't cross your path by accident. This is the power of prayer, right? So you kind of left it and said, no, it's not the patches. It was just the prayer. So I kind of left it. And that was April. And this year, I think it was about beginning of November, I get a message from the same person. And he said to me, he's in excruciating pain. The neuropathy is back. The sciatica is back. He's in excruciating pain. Can you get more patches? So I replied back to him and I said, did they kick you off the prayer group? And I don't know. I don't normally do that. Everybody knows me. I'm pretty chill, but I was quite annoyed actually, about that, going, oh my goodness, you need to have an open mind. And so what happened is he replied back 2 weeks later and he purchased X39 and LifeWave. Guys, 24 hours later, the sciatica, neuropathy, everything was completely gone. And he said, Chris, I apologize about what I said to you in April. He said, I was wrong. The power of prayer is what got the patches across my path. And it's the patches, because of the power of prayer and God, that my pain is gone. So it's just funny how what happens in people's minds.
Their own journey.
And it's sort of like a lot of times where I was saying earlier on in the call, people will get onto the patches, they get healed, and then they kind of forget that this is what got them to the healthy place that they're at. And then it's just human nature. You think, well, I'm better now. I'm totally fine. I don't need the patches anymore. And then what ends up happening, a lot of people start contacting you, and 6 months go by, and they go, oh, that problem I was having is sort of like coming back. So, and a lot of people are coming back onto the patches now, which is the most amazing thing to see. Okay, so we have got Glenda. Isn't it Glenda?
Sandra Perry. Is Glenda available, or are you going to share the testimonies on her behalf? I know you guys had some challenges with signal and things on your side.
Who I'm going to call up is Kent. When we get Kent, if you can put your video on. There we go.
Sandra, just let us know in the chat.
Add spotlight, and we change its view quickly, and there we go. And we ask Kent to
Thanks, Sandra.
unmute. There we go, Kent.
Hey, Christiana, thanks very much. That's some great testimonies tonight. So my story is just a little bit of my background. I'm a professional safari guide, have been for a little over 30 years. Now, my first incident was 2007. I got flattened by a buffalo and put on a back brace for 9 months. 2010, I got flattened by a buffalo again, had my ribs smashed in. Now, in the last 5 years, or from February last year, going back 4 years, I've had 3 knee surgeries. And 5 years ago, I had a heart attack. And I've been hospitalized 6 times since then. The last time was in April last year. And the last time in hospital, I was in for 5 days. And when I came out, they had me on 22 tablets a day. That was my statins, blood thinners, painkillers, sleeping tablets. I was on Rivotril sleeping tablets for 7 years. And anyway, Sean got hold of me and said, look, Kent, you've got to try these patches. So look, I was game. I'd just gone through 4 years of just pretty much constant pain in my chest. Anyway, I started the patches, and 4 days, I stopped taking tablets. 7 years of using sleeping tablets, I don't use any sleeping tablets anymore. I've had no pain since I started the patches. Now, and this now is actually leading into my son. Beginning of June last year, end of May, beginning of June, he went for rugby trials in a place called Gweru here in Zimbabwe. And he was selected to play for Zimbabwe under 19. The 3rd year running, he's been selected to play for Zimbabwe. But before going to trials, he had a migraine, and he just does not have migraines. And anyway, he went. He played with the migraines went away. He had a bit of back pain. The Saturday, when the selection was done, they were told, yep, you've been selected. He went and lay down for a bit and was told, okay, I've got to play another game. He got up, quite a bit of pain, played the game, and now it's a 4-hour drive back to Harare, but in pain. By the time we got back to Harare, we rushed him into the trauma center, and they took x-rays. No, your back is fine. You've got a muscle spasm. So they injected him with pethidine and gave him muscle relaxants and said, right, go home. Got home, and it wasn't even an hour. He was on his hands and knees on his bed in excruciating pain. So we took him to another hospital. They admitted him straight away. Now, he walked in. He wasn't taken in on a stretcher or anything. They had him on morphine that night. And he eventually got comfortable. That was Saturday night. Sunday, his legs felt funny. Monday morning, he was paralyzed from the waist down. So, we're thinking, okay, what's going on here? And it turns out he had a thing called, or he's got something called transverse myelitis, which is inflammation of the spine. It's an autoimmune. And now you can imagine he's an 18-year-old kid. He was actually he was going down to the Sharks Academy. He was representing Zimbabwe in rugby. Now his life is over. Can't walk, can't feel anything. He was stuffed. Excuse my language. Anyway, he'd been in hospital a few days, and we thought, the patches worked on me. Let's try them on Russell. And we got Sean to send some patches up to us. We put the X39 at the base of his neck. The Aeon patch we put on just below his belly button, and we did it in the evening so the doctors didn't see. 16 hours later, he was doing starfish on the bed. Even the physios, they were like, what's going on here? Anyway, we had to send him down to South Africa for rehab, but after 5 weeks, he was walking on crutches. Well, today, he's working. He's driving, he's playing golf, he goes to the gym every day, but yet 6 months ago, no, what is it? Yeah, 7 months ago, he was paralyzed. And we had nothing positive to look at. But now he's back to normal. He's actually going to college in Cape Town the end of March. But he's living a normal life. And not only is it the patches, it's the business. I've finally stuck to something with network marketing. I've been involved in a number of companies, and I'm slowly ranking up. And I'm now starting to reap the rewards from talking to people. I've gotten 25, 26 people going. It's turned into over 150 people in the team. All I can say is, look, thanks to Sean for actually getting in touch with me and say, look, Ken, try these patches out. And thank you to LifeWave. And also thank you to my wife, Brenda, who actually put up with it and said, all right, go for it, and got the support. So, yeah, thank you very much, LifeWave.
Thank you, Kent.
Oh,
Remarkable
thank you.
Story.
Thank you, Kent. Thank you. I'm so glad you mentioned that at the end there. Like I said, this is our social responsibility to share this with people, because we don't know whose lives we're going to touch and change. And I think we've got to get out of that fear that we're so worried about what people are going to think and people saying no to us. They're not saying no. It's just timing, because everything in life is all about timing, and everything works in a 90-day cycle. Seasons work in 90 days. Absolutely everything works in a 90-day cycle, and people are in different cycles in their life at any given time. So you might be talking to somebody about the patches, and you might get like no echo, no response from them. Don't worry about it. And, what we do as human beings, we make up all the stuff in our head, because we're going to send a message to somebody or a video and they haven't replied. And we start concocting this entire story in our head why they haven't come back to you. They think it's a lot of rubbish. They're judging me. And all the stuff goes in your head. And like 3 months later, they come back to you and go, I was so busy at work. I was busy with this. I had things with the kids. But thank you for sending that message to me. Please tell me more. And you go, oh my word, did I just make up all this crazy stuff in my head? It's what we do as humans. And I think we need to get out of our own way sometimes. And all we've got to do is share from the right place, share from your heart, wanting to help another human being. So Kent, thank you again. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. There we go. And then that's on the south way. There we go. And then, yes, Sandra, where is Sandra? You can put your video on. There we go. All right. And then I'm going to do this. Add spotlight. And there we go. Sandra, where are you? I just asked you to unmute. There we go.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hi there. It's like a beautiful halo behind your head. Looks awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. And I'm sharing two testimonies. I think some of may have heard my testimony before. I've started using the patches since 2023. I was in the middle of a retrenchment, and my friend that introduced me to them, I thought she was like crazy talking about stem cells. And I wasn't aware that, our stem cells reduce as we get older, to the extent of having 10% left by the age of 60. So I got into the patches mainly for managing anxiety and stress during the retrenchment, and I haven't stopped. So I've transitioned to 60, proudly so. And in the process, I've also got back onto the park run. I've completed 44 park runs since then. And I feel like I'm in my 30s again. And a friend of mine of 20 years, Glenda, who was so excited that I shared this testimony. In fact, I shared the product with her about a year. Yeah, it took her a year, actually, to start using the patches. We know each other for 25 years, and she actually had a mastectomy 21 years ago. So she's made some lifestyle changes along with the medical treatments and things she's had. But she was very excited to share this. She said that it could, impact other people as well. That a few weeks ago, she was cleaning her windows and she stretched herself because, she's had a couple of operations and glands removed under her arm and unable to move her shoulder completely. And she had forgotten about the patches. So she's not a regular user of the patches. I had to remind her from time to time. But then the next day she was in such pain that she put the patches. She grabbed 3 Eon patches, which is not the norm. And she patched at the point of the pain. And she said within, I just want to make sure, within 4 hours, she says she had flexibility of the arm and the pain had reduced significantly. So she's now back on the Eon on a daily basis. And she had also would be going for scans and things like that. So she's monitoring that against the use of the patches as well. So she's very keen. She's 69 and she's been in remission now for 21 years. So I just wanted to share that.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Wow, that is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you for that, Sandra. Thank you.
Thank you.
My goodness.
So powerful.
Nice nugget that we could get out of that is it took a year before she said she'd try the patches. So guys, sometimes we need to just share a little bit more with people because what we're doing is new to a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's absolutely new. So what I always do is think about your reaction the first time that you heard about the patches. So if I think about the very first time I heard about the patches, I was sharing with somebody today. We all know that George signed me up into LifeWave, and I was on a Zoom call, really not looking good. And George just sent me a message saying, "Hey, Chris, you look like shit." And and I was like, "What? How can you say that to me?" And he said, "Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. You don't look good." And that was in October 2022. And George sent me information. But guys, George sent me 21 messages over a 6-week period. 21 messages before he got my attention. I'm not as persistent as George. I take my hat off to him because there's no way I'm going to send someone 21 messages. I think I normally stop at about 5 or 6. And then that's where I cut the line, and now it's the ball's in your court. You know what I mean? I've done everything on my side. But it was only when George sent me a 6.5-minute voice note. So George sent a lot of information about the company, the product, the technology, the science. But it was when he sent me a 6.5-minute voice note, 2 testimonies, that is when he stopped me in my tracks. And that's when he got my attention, because you've always got to think to yourself, people are always thinking WIIFM, that's the radio station that they tuned into. What's in it for me? That's what people are thinking. So we've always got to remember. So that's where it comes to a testimony, because you're thinking, what can it do for me? What can it do for other people? Yeah. Did you know that somebody actually shared information about LifeWave to me 6 months before George sent me info? But let me tell you how badly it was done. I didn't get a "Hi, Chris, how are you doing? Haven't spoken for a while. All I got was a recording and said there, David Schmidt, something LifeWave, got the recording and just said, I'm loving this. That's all it was. I'm loving this. I saw this message and I said, I don't give a continental what you love. You haven't spoken to me. Hello. Hi, Chris. I'm sending you a video about X39, or I'm sending you a video about David Schmidt. I'm sending you a video about X39, LifeWave, stem cells, nothing. Just a link saying, I'm loving this. What does that mean in my life? It means nothing in my life. So at least when it comes to communicating to somebody, just make sure that you are starting the conversation. And hi, how are you doing? I would like to share something with you. Don't ever just send something, ever, guys. Don't ever, without a bit of writing, opening communication.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought I'd share that with you.
Bring that human factor in.
And then I've got one more story I'm going to share with everybody right at the end. But before that, I'm just going to ask Jackie from the UK. I'm going to add spotlight. There we go. We met Jackie just over a year ago in the UK, and we were on a call earlier, and she's got an update on her testimony. There we go. Jackie, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me back. And thank you for everything and these amazing testimonials. This is just wanting to make me cry again and again and again, because everything that's happened is just phenomenal. Thanks to David Schmidt. And what I want to say is that this all happened started with a stroke and me donking out of bed, meaning that when I woke up one morning, I fell on the floor and my legs weren't even carrying me. And then what happened, I got scared, but at the same time, I was reaching out to my friend whom I respect as my brother, my older brother. Forgive me for the tears, because I just go down the natural route. I refuse to go down medicine, as in pills, as in drugs. I won't do it. And what happened to me was I was diagnosed with cancer back in 2006. It returned in 2012. Then it returned again, and I got scared. I got very scared. At the same time, in between that, I had a stroke in my sleep, and my legs weren't working. So I accepted, can you believe I accepted that my legs were not working, and I was on a stick. So I went to meetings on a stick, and I thought that was my way of life. Then my reading glasses were increasing in prescription, and I thought that's my way of life, until I had a phone call. I had a phone call out of the blue from a friend whom I respect as a beloved brother. He calls me Sisi because he's from South Africa. Sisi means sister. And so I said, well, I've got to nickname you BB, Big Brother. So BB, tell me what is out there to reduce my blood pressure naturally, because I only go down the natural route. And then he gave me a call and told me about LifeWave. Not once, not twice, but thrice. Thrice in 3 days. In 3 days, because I didn't have the time to pick up the call. He said, I've got something drug-free for your blood pressure, for everything else, and this is drug-free. I said, right, I'm interested. Let's do this. I didn't tell him, I didn't tell anybody that my cancer had returned third time round. Again, it came back. So from 2006, cancer cut out, it returned back in 2012, and then it returned back in 2024. And the reason why I'm crying is because of all these beautiful testimonials. Just absolutely amazing how our bodies can heal ourselves, and thanks to David Schmidt. So I owe a huge thanks to David Schmidt. But what I want to say is that after the stroke, what I did was I did my due diligence. I went into the back office, I went to the website, and I had to see it for myself before I was going to indulge and imply and buy a product about a natural healing product. So I went to thisisit.info.com. I read all the information. Everything was, there were no lies, there were no backs, there was nothing about anything but fact upon fact, which I loved. And from there, I thought, I'm going to order this for myself. I didn't tell a soul that my cancer had returned third time round. Everyone knew I was on a stick anyway. Everyone knew I was on glasses anyway. And then the glasses got bigger because I was on bifocals as well. So my prescription was increasing. I took that this is the way I'm going to be. I took and accepted that I was on a walking stick, and this is how it was going to be. Then I went back, didn't tell a soul, but I went back for my surgery third time round, had the cancer removed third time round. So for the first time, when the cancer was removed, lots of painkillers, painkiller after painkiller after painkiller. Second time round, back in 2012, again, cancer returned, painkiller after they cut out the surgery. Last year, when they took out the cancer, I had a stack of painkillers yet again, because they said, Jackie, you've got to take the painkillers, right? I know the procedure, I know the protocol, I know what to do. So I had this stack, but I also had X39. I had the X39 I ordered because it was drug-free. It was needle-friendly, no needle injection because I can't stand needles anyway. And there were no side effects when I did my due diligence on the thisisit.info.com. When I saw that, I thought, I've got to give it a try. So I bought the pack, I bought the kit, and I said, well, let's see what happens. So the first day I put the patch on was the day after the surgery. This is what happened. Nurses and doctors were telling me that after the morphine wears off, you've got to start taking your painkillers. After the morphine wore off, I hadn't taken a painkiller on the day of the surgery. Second day, and that evening, I still didn't need to take a painkiller. I thought this was a major surgery with a scar going down. And I don't need a painkiller. I didn't need to be, if I can avoid tablets, I will avoid tablets, but I didn't feel any pain whatsoever. X39. The following day, I woke up, I wasn't in pain. Then a week later, I still wasn't in pain. I wasn't taking any painkillers, but I was not in any pain after a surgery, a major surgery. I was not in any pain. Then after that, 3 months later, I found my legs. In other words, I could walk again, and I ditched my stick. So I was off the stick. I'm still not in any pain from a medical surgery. And then 9 months later, because I go for my annual for the cancer, the blood checks, etc., I was cancer free after 9 months of taking the X39. Then 12 months later, from the bifocals, my prescription reduced. So I'm on like smaller glasses now. My prescription reduced. So my eyes are improving as well, naturally. And naturally is the way I do it. Now, the only thing I changed was adding a patch. I eat fish, meat, veg all day long, and I cook it myself. I haven't done anything different but adding patch. That's all I've done was but adding a patch. That's all I've done. The reason why I'm crying is because of the joy from the testimonials and reaching out to other people. And all I have done is spread my word, my news of I'm pain-free from something that has happened from a surgery. And because of this, I thank a lot of people around the world, across the globe. And it all started with, I really do thank David Schmidt for changing my life and giving my life back. Because when my cancer returned the third time round, I was scared. And I was on that road of chemotherapy and radiotherapy, which I am so dedicated. But third time round, I thought, why God, why me? You know, I'm a sponsor for children's charities. You know, children are our future generation, and I'm so passionate. Since the age of 7, I've been always, I've my 10 wishes to God, and one of the wishes was I don't want children to be hungry around the world, and I've dedicated my life to children to be hunger free, and also to be passionate and invest in their own dreams. I'm an investor myself, as well as a charity sponsor. So I practice what I preach.
Wow. Oh,
Amazing.
Jackie, thank you.
Thank you
So much for your beautiful testimony, and thank you for your passion. You know, when I talk to Sandy, I say, my goodness, I don't think I've met anybody as passionate and enthusiastic as you, and your commitment and your belief. You are going to be making such a difference in many people's lives. And, you know, that's what it's all about, where we're helping people with their health. But, you know, the money that we receive as a commission, all it is an expression of what this product is doing for other people. And we get rewarded. And when you get rewarded, you can do more. You can do more and help so many more people. And that's what a lot of beautiful people in this community do. The commissions they earn from LifeWave, they put a certain percentage away, and they're putting food on people's tables. They help people with patches. Myself and Lucinda, we do a lot in the background where we give back and just help humanity and society. And that's what this is all about. It's all about community and helping people on every single level. So, Jackie, thank you so much. And looking forward to seeing you next week in London.
Can I just add my results from today?
Yes, please.
When I shared my results from last year, when I have my annual checkups about I am cancer free.
Mm-hmm.
This year, today, mark the date, 15th of January.
Mm-hmm.
2026. Once again, I am cancer free and positive, and all of my organs are working fine. So this is what I wanted to share. I mentioned to Sandy that when I do my testimonial, I've got amazing results. I don't have cancer yet again, because it is not coming in my. So these are the results. Cancer free yet again.
Oh,
Congratulations.
wow. Well
Amazing,
done.
amazing.
So proud of you. Thank you.
And
Thank
Jackie,
you.
I remember that very first moment when we met in that London event for the very first time. I think it was about 2 years ago.
No.
Year and a bit.
Year and a bit.
Yeah. And
with Heath.
yeah, I immediately knew when you were telling your story, and it was so remarkable that, and you had the passion and drive in your heart way back then, and just the gratitude from what this patches have brought. And we know what you're doing on the business side of this, and taking it all the way to the top. So congratulations on all of that, and looking forward to seeing you grow and just be part of this beautiful community. Thank you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you, Jackie. See you next week.
So much.
Yes, see you next week.
I appreciate you so much. And what I wanted to say is that I have met yourself and I've thanked you, and I humbly thank Sandy and George as well. And I humbly thank Javi and Olga as well, because if they hadn't shared, if Steve and Gina hadn't shared, it wouldn't have come across to Europe. If they hadn't come across to Europe and to South Africa, I would know. If it was sitting on a supermarket shelf, I would never have known about this product, and I would have gone down that route of chemotherapy and radiotherapy. And what I want to say is that I have humbly thanked you, and I've humbly thanked and met personally Sandy, George, and Olga and Javi. Now I do have to thank a couple more people along the way, which are the Hernandez couple, and also Steve and Gina, and then also the big man, the top man, David Schmidt, for inventing this product, who has naturally helped me be here alive.
Yeah.
One day you will meet him when you go and get your award.
Oh,
on stage.
it's going to happen, because when I say it's going to happen, I feel it in my heart, and it will happen. It will
absolutely.
Happen. It's going to happen. We're going to do this together as a family, because our family is growing, and we are going to help 1 billion homes around the world. Absolutely.
Same page.
Brilliant.
Love you, Jackie. We'll see you next week.
Jackie.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate
you next week.
Thank you.
You too. Bye. There we go. Wow. My goodness gracious. What an amazing evening. These testimonies have just been absolutely mind-blowing. Guys, thank you for taking the time out. So also spending time with all of you. All these testimonies will be cut into the individual ones. And guys, like we say, we put them onto the link tree daily. All you got to do is go into the link tree, press on the letter that you're looking for, press, and there are hundreds of testimonies for you to share. We put it all together on your fingertips so that you don't have to run around looking all over for them. They're right there all in one place.
And also just to mention that something like Jackie's testimony would be under both stroke and cancer.
That's right. So
some of them will be duplicated if they have more than one ailment that was cured. So
correct. Thank you for that. Perfect. Okay, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your weekend, and see you guys on Zoom.
See you soon.
Night, everybody. Love you all. Night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.